All right, good evening, everyone. We are very pleased to be here this afternoon for the third presentation in the series of Health and Healing. I'm going to ask you to stand at this time as we ask God's inclusion in our presentations this evening. Loving Father, we are so grateful that you've given us journeying mercies to be here. We're so grateful, oh God, for the wisdom, the leadership that Dr. Thomas has demonstrated since Thursday afternoon. We are grateful, oh God, for the wisdom that he has gotten and also for his willingness to share this knowledge with us here in Paterson. As we come this afternoon, oh God, we are ready to receive, and we know that he's going to deliver, and then you will also continue to lead us as we move forward in demonstrating in our respective lives healing and also a proper way of approaching our health. Thank you, O God, for this opportunity. We pray this evening through Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. All right, I'm very pleased this afternoon to welcome Dr. Thomas to be with us again. And this evening's presentations will be two presentations. One of them will be a live demonstration of how one makes smoothies, and then we will go into the theoretical aspect of our presentation secondly. Dr. Thomas.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good evening, rather. Adjust my mic. Yeah, so we have a number of things here to demonstrate to you. Thank you all for coming out. I'm going to be showing you how to use some simple foods, spices, herbs to make a number of different home remedies and to make food so we can begin to take advantage of all the beautiful, wonderful foods that God has made for us. We can learn to enjoy them in a very tantalizing and satisfying way. So I'm going to start out with making a home remedy that I've coined Dr. T's penicillin. This is used to treat your colds and flus, your sinus infections. This is used to treat any respiratory tract infections, and it can be used in persons as young as 1 year old up to any age. All respiratory infections do well. It was a very popular remedy when there was COVID around. And I'm going to start by making this formula. So we're going to be using our blenders a lot today. And for this one, we're going to be, let me see, we have some oranges here. Usually, yes, I use a juice of about 2 oranges for this one. So we don't have the juices. We have actually the orange diced up, which is perfectly fine. So this one is made for adults and kids. So I'm going to just estimate what would be 2 oranges. And it's quite juicy, so we don't need to be adding water here, right? So approximately 2 oranges, approximately 2 slices of pineapples. Now the oranges, you know, have vitamin C, and that's very good when you have any kind of respiratory infections. It boosts your immune system. And the oranges will provide a beautiful taste that the kids can enjoy. So medicines do not need to taste bad. Pineapples, again, are for taste, contains fiber, but it contains an enzyme called bromelain, which acts as a powerful anti-inflammatory to reduce inflammation in the respiratory tract, reduce mucus production. So I'm just estimating 2 slices of pineapple here. So these are our 2 main ingredients. Now, the other ingredient I'm going to be adding now is your garlic. Now, garlic is a potent antiviral, antifungal, and antibiotic. Okay. And so the garlic is going to be a key addition here. Now, the amount of garlic you use, you have to be careful because, as I said, kids are going to be consuming this and kids are not going to enjoy garlic very much. So for this formula, we're going to basically use just 3 cloves of garlic here. 1, 2, 3 cloves of garlic. In addition to the garlic, we're going to be using our onions. Onions contain an important nutrient called quercetin. So for this, I'll generally use half an onion. So a lot of onion here. So we're going to have to be using up They prepared too many of these ingredients. They did ask me. All right, so about half an onion goes into my formula here. Maybe I should make a little more. What do you think? So you all can taste it, right? Yes. So let me use a big blender. So that's the whole point of all of these ingredients. Let me use a big blender here. So let me throw this into here and add some more, so everybody can get a taste. All right. So we're adding 4 oranges, right? And 4 slices of pineapple. I have another formula with pineapple, so I won't use all of it right now. There's still a lot left. And then we're going to be adding some more of our garlic. So let's add a couple more garlic. All right. And a lot more onion. So we're going to be adding, like 1 whole big onion to make our formula strong. So onion contains quercetin, which onion actually, this substance in onion is a bronchodilator. So what it does is opens the airway so you can breathe freer. So in a person who has a respiratory tract infection, they may have difficulty breathing, congestion, and chest tightness, especially if they have asthma. So the onion will be very useful there. Now, because onion is in this formula, when you make it and you're going to store it, it has to be stored in an airtight container. You can't leave onion out because it absorbs toxin and bacteria from the air. Onion can also be used to make a tea, and the onion tea is very useful if you have an asthma attack. So if you're asthmatic and you have asthma attack and you can't get to the hospital, don't have a pump at the time, onion tea is useful to relieve the wheezing and shortness of breath that comes with the acute asthma attack. We're not done yet here. We're going to be adding, what's this, cayenne? No cayenne goes into this one because kids are going to have it. Looking for my turmeric. Is there turmeric or curry powder here? Where is it? Oh, it's right here. Awesome. And get the real thing. And this is going to give potent anti-inflammatory benefits to reduce swelling and congestion, nasal passage in the airways. So it allows to breathe freer. It's a very good painkiller. So it reduces pain in the airway. Flus come with body aches and headaches and so on. So usually for the original formula that I was doing, we'd use about 6 inches of turmeric, but we're using a lot more here. So usually we'd use 2 pieces of this, but we're doing a bigger formula. So adding some more. And then we're going to be adding some ginger. Ginger is very useful again to reduce pain and inflammation. And finally, we're going to be adding our honey. I tend to add about 3 tablespoons of honey to the formula, but we're doing a bigger one, so we're going to be adding about 9 tablespoons. Let me take this off. So make sure you're writing on all these ingredients, so you can have that formula. I'm just going to fill this up with honey. We have extra. All right, good. I'll put my honey in here. All right, great. So honey is not really for the sweetness. Honey is in fact another antiviral and antibiotic. So it kills germs in the respiratory tract. So we use it to make sure that all the flu viruses and COVID virus and all the other viruses do not survive this formula. All right, so we are plugged in, I think, and we are going to power up. I see no power coming up, We can make sure that this thing is plugged in. Yes, it looks plugged in. Maybe I'm not locking this properly. Plugged in. No, that needs to be turned on. Turn on this. Turn on the. It's not turned on. It's all right. Hold on. No power. No power is here. All right. So while we're waiting, so you can, after blending, strain this formula, or you can have it without straining. I'm going to need a volunteer to come and help me to share this out when I'm finished, so I can move on to the next formula. I guess you import it. Hold on. I need to lock it. You see power on that? Light comes on this power strip here. Oh, you have more. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, it's still not uniformly blended. I need to blend out a little bit more because I need my turmeric color to be more stronger than this. I tend to prefer my NutriBullet, let me put it in the bullet to get a little smoother, as this blender is a little on the slower side. This bullet can reach. Hmm? No. All right, this is how a real blender works. All right, and then we could actually strain some of this. We're gonna strain some, so those who want it strained can have it strained. So we're gonna strain some into this. I think, but don't waste it. Well, for the kids, they're not gonna drink it when you have it with it all these grains in it, So I'm making the medicine kid friendly. So you have to be sensitive to the fact that kids and adults are different, and they're not gonna have medicines like how you have it. So we strain some. You can add some to the other cups. For those that, make sure that lady there who don't want to strain get it first. What's that? Training our work, good man. Yeah, it's very thick. Usually I use the juice of the orange rather than the whole orange, but this time we had to use orange, so it's kind of thick. We didn't have any much liquid in it. Yeah, we don't need it for this formula. There are uses for orange skin, but not in this particular formula. When we're building medicines, we have particular things that we're trying to accomplish. That's fine. So for the children, they could get a little bit of this one, a little taste. All right, so you're gonna dispatch with this now. The children not in here. All right. Let me be the first to taste it and see. Come on. Nice and punchy with the ginger. You can go. Huh? Yes, I'm gonna just put it in here and then you can go wash this. All right, so that's your flu shot or your Dr. T's natural penicillin. So you can make this at home and keep it in the fridge for your colds and flus, ear infection, throat infections. All right, we're going to step right into the next formula right away. We're stepping right into the next formula, so pay attention. This one now is not, this next formula now, are you listening? Yeah, I'm going to need a little bit of hot water or water for this formula. Can I get a little water for this one? It doesn't have to be hot. Just any amount of water. Give me some water. This one now is the natural painkiller. This one is for pain and inflammation. If you have migraines, period cramps. You see, I told you, we want the one that was strained. Yeah, man, it's kind of a little better to drink when it's strained. So it's meant to be very punchy. It's not meant to be a pleasant drink. That's why you have a small amount. So for this formula, when you strain it, kids get one. I need you to listen. People, you're not paying attention. Yes, so I'm saying the dosage, once you've done this, for kids, you give 1 to 2 teaspoons 3 times a day. Adults get 4 to 6 teaspoons 3 times a day for colds and flus. The next one I'm going to be doing is the natural painkiller. So if you have period cramps, if you have headaches, if you have arthritis pain, yes, this one is for that. Many of the ingredients are similar, but a couple ingredients are going to be different. And this one is not for kids. All right, I understand. So this one, we're going to start with our pineapple. Going to be in a small amount. So get the cups ready, miss. So we're going to be putting in our 2 slices of pineapple. No orange goes into this one. This one will have no garlic, but it will definitely have ginger. All right? So 2 slices of pineapple. A handful of ginger. All right? A handful of turmeric. You watching carefully? All right. Thank you, Sister Francis. Then we're going to be adding about about 4 ounces of water. Usually I use warm water for this one. And we're going to go for our turmeric, our cayenne pepper. And the cayenne, this one is usually very strong. Not seeing a little spoon that I could use, so I'm going to just... So for this one, usually using 1 ounce of cayenne pepper. Look at me. Half of this. And cayenne pepper. So the cayenne pepper is to boost circulation. It takes the formula around your body. So in here we have the pineapple, which has the bromelain, the enzyme that really cuts through the stiffness in the joints and reduces the pain. The turmeric and ginger, which are natural painkillers. And the cayenne is to help these formulas to circulate into your body. All right? We're not done yet. So this one, we're going to add black pepper. Black pepper is key in this formula. We find that when you use black pepper with turmeric and with cayenne and with ginger, it increases their absorption by up to 300%. So more of the formula gets into your system. So we're showing to build medicine now. So this one takes it from your intestine into your blood. And the cayenne ensures that it go all over the body. So the formula is delivered to your joints and your head and your belly where the pain is. If you use them without these, then it's going to be less effective. All right? And so now we're going to be using about a half an ounce of black pepper. All right? A lot of black pepper for this formula, all right? So this one is not meant for the faint of heart. If you have a strong stomach for this one, it's not for you. All right, so anybody in here have some pain? Yes, you'll get a double dose tonight. All right, so let's go. All right, I see they brought these here, but if I've strained this thing through, this is done now. One use. I want to use them here. If I touch anything here, that is finished. So I'm gonna use this one again. Do we have something else we could strain this into? Empty bowl. All right, so put those away because those are not compatible with any turmeric here. All right, so we're gonna be straining this. All right, this one. All right, for ease of use, for convenience, I'm gonna add a little more water so you can strain a little easier. But at home, don't add any more water and jelly. All right, take your time and strain it to get the full effect of it. Because you want this one to really work. Right. Yes, we definitely want to strain it. You don't want to drink this without strain it. What's that? Well, if you have pain in your heart, and if you're strong enough, because pain is not really very pleasant. So persons who have pain and who are suffering, they will drink it. Right? Yes. So if you don't have any pain, you're not going to drink it. You're going to find this a little difficult to drink. And this is better than taking the many painkillers that you get that are going to damage your liver and kidney and mash up your stomach. So, just throw it some and then I can go again with some more blending. That's it. That's just one shot. That's enough. One little shot.
That's it.
Yeah, man, that's it. Exactly. A little more than that, man. You're gone too low now, man. So like that amount. You're gone too low now, man.
I'm trying to get.
Yeah, I'm more of a strain off your son.
Okay, babe. Go.
So you'll get this one then.
Okay.
Hmm? All right, let's go again with some more. And if you're having pain, I want to hear the testimony tomorrow when I'm online. Whose pain went away? So if you're having pain tonight, take a good strong dose. And let me know tomorrow how you slept and how you feel. All right, sister, go ahead with this now.
And how often would you drink this?
Yeah, man, this you can take 2 or 3 times a day, man. If you have chronic arthritis, take it for like 2 weeks, and trust me, after that, you take it every now and then when needed, but you don't need to take this continuously. It's a very strong and potent formula. All right, this is coming down. And I can have a volunteer to go and wash this for me for my next demonstration. I'm willing to go to the kitchen to wash this for me. Are you going to do it? All right, so give somebody that to serve out and you wash this. All right, and wash this too. A big, nice strainer, man. And I hide it up. All right, so we can strain those afterwards. So you can go and strain some of those. Yeah. All right, so listen now. We're moving on right away. But, yes. Yes. All right, so we've done a couple formulas. Talked about onion tea. We're going to make a couple smoothies now. All right? This is the food part now. All right? So we're going to make 2 smoothies. We're going to make a... Well, what time is it? Wow. Can make 1 smoothie maybe. Now let's make a green smoothie quickly. So for a green smoothie, you need a number of ingredients. First, you need your base, which is your milk. And I'm using almond milk today, all right? I'm putting half of the volume of my blender in almond milk. You can use coconut milk for this or cashew milk. Those are what I recommend that you use. This is going to be your breakfast or lunch or dinner. When I'm having this, I'm having the entire NutriBullet full as 1 meal and I hold for the entire day. To that, you're going to add your favorite greens. They have given me kale here. So when I'm finished and you guys finish even, you could make the rest of it, all right? So having a handful of kale, handful of cucumbers. So my 2 greens are kale and cucumber, all right? So we've gotten our base out of the way. Now we've gotten our greens, 2 main ingredients, all right? Then we're going to be adding some nuts. This they have almond as a nut here. So usually I'm adding a handful of almonds. You can use cashew, pecans, Brazil nuts, hazelnuts, any nut you want. I tend to avoid peanut, as I may have told you, because of the mold content. After nuts, I'm going to be adding my seeds. This is, of course, flax seed. I tend to use a combination of flax and chia or flax and hemp. I love hemp seeds. So, small amount, couple teaspoons or tablespoons of flax seed. This is for my omega-3 and my fiber. Your chia seeds tend to swell, so they can make it very thick. So you gotta go light on the chia seeds, not too much. All right. Chia seeds are naturally detoxifying. They absorb heavy metals from your intestine and scrub your intestinal lining. So we've added our nuts and our seeds and our greens and our milk. Then we're going to be adding our salt. I'm not seeing the salt here. Yes, we have the salt right here. Pink Himalayan salt adds your minerals. So we're making a complete meal. All right. So a small amount of salt, not much, a little pinch. Add that in. That enhances the taste. Yeah, man, pink salt or Celtic sea salt, special salt. Then, of course, we're going to be adding our ripe bananas, which is going to give us the sweetness, lots of potassium. All right. I tend to add, I should have brought my protein powder to show you. I totally forgot it by the apartment. So protein powder will not go into it, but usually it's an addition. So adding ripe bananas to give extra sweetness here. Ripe bananas go in there. And then finally, some spices, which is going to be, we have here vanilla extract. Usually I have almond extract, and those are also left. I told Pastor not to get any, and because I have them and I don't bring them. So we could do another one quickly after this, right? Can I get this washed out for the other smoothie right after? All right, so we're gonna do a smoothie quickly. Share it out quickly. See if I have any space at the top here. No space, all right. Get a little bit of it out, but I want to add a little more banana sweet because I don't have a protein powder. I might add a little more ripe banana. Some people will get a sweeter version than others, right? Some of you will get a sweeter version. So if you get last, then you're gonna get the better one. Yeah, wait till last. Right. Right, sis, let's go with this now. Let's share quickly. Yes. All right, so while she's sharing, I'm going to do the other one quickly. This is going to be a nut and fruit smoothie. So it's similar ingredients. Start with our milk. And you see what happened to the NutriBullet already? It's turned into turmeric color. All right, so half of this of milk. Wrapping up quickly. You can add our spices at the start. This one is going to have our vanilla. Or grounded nutmeg, which could go in that one too. But we put in some nutmeg here. Little extra flavor. This one is gonna be really good. Nutmeg. Yes, and we have here some cinnamon. Cinnamon very good to lower your blood sugar if you're diabetic. When I'm adding in our nuts now, and we have almond as the only nut here. So some almonds here. Adding in some ripe bananas. And of course some strawberries for this one. It's a nice nut and fruit smoothie. It's not too full. It tastes nice. Come on, so that's what I'm enjoying every morning for breakfast. I don't have an avocado here, but avocado can go in it too. If you add that, it's even more creamier. All right, nice and creamy. Let me again get some of the liquid out so I can add some more strawberries and ripe bananas. Let me blend that burn so. All right, so wrapping up now, people. So I hope you got a little idea of how you can use your vegetables and fruits together to actually make some delicious dishes that are easy, and all these things are just like 5-minute dishes. Ooh. All right, I need some cleanup after I'm done here. And I'm done. All right, everybody, that's it for the demonstration. We're going to prepare for the main presentation. So we'll take a 1-minute recess and then we'll begin. What is?
His heart was broken, mine was mended. He became sin, now I am clean. The cross he carried bore my burden. The nails that held him set me free. His life for mine, his life for mine. How could it ever be that he would die, God's son would die to save a wretch like me? What love divine, he gave his life for mine. His scars of suffering brought me healing. He spilled his blood to fill my soul. His crown of thorns made me royalty. His sorrow gave me joy untold. His life for mine, his life for mine. How could it ever be that he would die, God's son would die to save a wretch like me? What love divine, he gave his life for mine. He was despised and rejected, stripped of his garments and oppressed. I am loved and accepted, and I wear a robe of righteousness. His life for mine, his life for mine. How could it ever be that he would die, God's son would die to save a wretch like me? What love divine, he gave his life for mine.
There is no problem too big, God cannot solve it. There is no mountain too tall, God cannot move it. There is no storm too dark, God cannot calm it. There is no sorrow too deep, he cannot soothe it. If he carries the weight of the world on his shoulders, I know my brother that he will carry you. Oh, if he carries the weight of the world There is no problem too big, God cannot solve it. There is no mountain too tall, He cannot move it. And there is no storm too dark, God cannot calm it. There is no sorrow too deep, He cannot soothe it. Oh, if He carried the weight of the world on His shoulders, I know my brother that He will carry you. Oh, if He carried the weight of the world on His shoulders, I know my sister that He will carry you. If He carried the weight of the world on His shoulders, I know my brother that He will carry you. Oh, if He carried the weight of the world on His shoulders, I know my sister that He will carry you. I know my brothers and sisters that He will carry you. He will carry you.
I am tired of chasing pretty rainbows. I am tired of spinning round and round. Wrap up all the shattered dreams of your life, and at the feet of Jesus, lay them down. Give them all, give them all, give them all, give them all. Give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all, give them all. Give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. He never said there'd only be sunshine, but He never said there'd be no rain. He only promised a heart full of singing. That's the very thing that once brought pain. Give them all, give them all, give them all. Give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, wounded hearts, broken toys. Give them all, give them all, give them all, give them all. Give them all to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. Give them all, give them all, give them all, give them all. Give them all to Jesus. Shattered dreams, to Jesus, and He will turn your sorrow into joy. And He will turn your sorrow into joy. And He will turn your sorrow into joy.
The news came to Jesus. Please confess. Lazarus is sick, and without your help, he will not. I am under the rock. Do we all know it? Let's do it. You get a little smoothie and stuff already, so you should be perked up. 2, 3. I am under the rock. The rock is higher than high. Jehovah guide me. I'm under the rock. Go tell my enemies I'm under the rock. Jehovah hides me. I'm under the rock. I am under the rock. The rock is higher than high. Jehovah hides me. I'm under the rock. Go tell my enemies I'm under the rock. Jehovah guides me. I'm under the rock. One more from the congregation. It soon be done. It soon be done. When troubles and trials, when I get home on the other side, I'm gonna shake my hand with the elders. I'm gonna tell all the people good morning. I'm gonna sit down beside my Jesus. I'm gonna sit down and rest a little while. It soon be done. It soon be done. No troubles and trials when I get home. On the other side, I'm gonna shake my hand with the elders. I'm gonna tell all the people good morning. I'm gonna sit down beside my Jesus. I'm gonna sit down and rest a little while. Closer than a brother, my Jesus is to me. He's my dearest friend in everything I need. He's my rock, my shield and hiding place. Closer than a brother, Jesus is to me. Closer than a brother, my Jesus is to me. He's my dearest friend in everything I need. He's my rock, my shield and hiding place. Closer than a brother, Jesus is to me. All right. Thank you so much.
Wonderful, merciful Savior, precious Redeemer and friend. Who would have thought that a lamb could rescue the souls of men? Oh, you rescue the souls of men. Counselor, comforter, keeper, spirits we long to embrace. You offer hope when our hearts have hopelessly lost our ways. Oh, we've hopelessly lost the way. You are the one that we praise. You are the one we adore. You give your healing and grace. Our hearts always hunger for. Our hearts always hunger for. Almighty infinite Father, faithfully loving your own. Here in our weakness you find us, falling before your throne. Oh, we're falling before your throne. You are the one that we praise. You are the one we adore. You give your healing and grace. Our hearts always hunger for. Our hearts always hunger for. You are the one that we praise. You are the one we adore. You give your healing and grace. Our hearts always hunger for. Our hearts always hunger for.
Good evening, everyone. All right, let me try this one more time. Good evening, everyone. Excellent. Have you guys been blessed so far by this program? Yes, and you've been cleansed. All right, good, awesome. So for those of you who are joining us online, we want to welcome you again, and we want to welcome our audience here, our visiting friends and folks, and also regular members. I certainly have been blessed by Dr. Thomas and his presentations from Friday night, on Sabbath, and even tonight. I just took a little dose of that inflammatory concoction, so I'm going to be making some more of that as well. So we have a lot of interesting things. Dr. Thomas has done an excellent job giving us a lot of information. I want you to give him your undivided attention. If you're online and you've been blessed, please put that into our chat. Let us know how you've been blessed so far. And we also will be entertaining a few questions towards the end of Dr. Thomas's presentation. So welcome one, welcome all, welcome everyone online, and we'll be talking to you soon. Dr. Thomas will be joining us in a few minutes. Thank you.
Shall we stand for prayer, please? Let us pray. Our Father, God, thank you for life one more time. Thank you to be in your presence one more time. Thank you for the information that you have granted to us to make us better, to make living a little better. Thank you for Dr. Thomas as he imparts unto us these knowledge. We pray, oh God, that we'll apply them to our lives so that we can be better within ourselves. I pray, oh that the Spirit will come down, fall upon us today. Hasten the footsteps of those that are coming, oh Father, so that we will have a wonderful time together, just focusing on you and your goodness. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
At this time, we'll have a special music by Sister Cole.
Evening, everyone. Because my prince is sick. Sorry.
I am the creator. I am the maker of the universe. I am the one who spoke into nothing and all creation heard. I am he who has all power in my hands. And if you believe on my word, you can stand. I am healer, mender of broken hearts, Alpha, Omega, your destiny, and where you start. I am the one who does impossible things. That's who I am. Just let me be who I am to you. That's who I am. Just let me be who I am for you. I am the one who sees a need and always provides. I am the one whose name is a tower where you can run and hide. I am he who has all power in my hands. And if you believe on my word, you can stand. I am healer, mender of broken hearts. I am Alpha, Omega, your destiny, and where you start. I am the one who does impossible things. That's who I am. Just let me be who I am for you. Ooh, that's who I am. Just let me be who I am for you. And if there's a need, I am. When you are sick, I am. Jehovah, well, in the morning right now, I am. You can see your way, I am. Ooh, that's who I am. Just let me be who I am for you. That's who I am. Just let me be who I am for you.
Thank you, Sister Cole. The privilege is mine to introduce Dr. Orlando Thomas to you. For those of you who have seen him and heard his presentations over the past 2 days, you are familiar with him. But for those of you who have not met him yet, I want to reintroduce you to him. He holds a bachelor's degree of medicine from the University of the West Indies, and he's a certified functional medicine physician from the Institute of Functional Medicine in the United States. His special skill sets include surgery, family medicine, functional medicine, and shockwave therapy. Some of the most notable highlights in his background include his scholarship achievements throughout his academic journey. Most notably, he was the Alcan Jamaican Scholarship recipient in 1997 through 1992. He was the Dr. Normal Sinclair Memorial Scholarship recipient in 1998, the Ralph Lauren Scholarship in 1999, and the University of West Indies Guild of Students Honor Award recipient in 2000. He's also experienced professionally by his various areas of employment, the Spanish Town Hospital, the Linstead Hospital, St. Andrew's Memorial Hospital, and presently the Thomas Medical Center, from where he has been since 2008. He is also a motivational speaker to many young people. He has a social media following of over 500,000 followers, and those videos have been viewed over 30 million times. He's also an elder at the Bendon SDA Church, and he's also contributed to many health, particularly the Gleaner and Observer articles in those various magazines. He's also a guest presenter to numerous radio and television programs locally, and the founder of Be Health Group with members in 25 countries. And finally, he has offered over 100 free clinics over the past 20 years. So clearly he's qualified to speak to us on the subject, quite experienced, and we welcome him one more time. So please put your hands together for Dr. Orlando Thomas.
Good night, everybody. It's a pleasure to see so many of you out, and a pleasure even to see so many persons online. Tonight we have another interesting presentation. Could I get my presentation on the screen in front of me, as I need to see my slides? Could we get that up, please? So tonight's presentation is a very important one, which I want you all to focus on, because in some way, shape, or form, what I'll talk about tonight will impact you, whether today or next year or the other year to come. This is a central pillar of health that so few understand, but tonight I'm going to change that. You here will get an understanding of what's really happening in your body and what you can do to influence your health in this particular area. Now, it's said by many that all diseases begin in the gut. Now, while all may be an exaggeration, really and truly many diseases that you suffer from has its genesis, its start in problems occurring in your intestinal tract. And tonight we're going to understand why that's so important. As I've said over and over again, my approach to medicine is a common sense one. We try to understand what causes illness, remove the cause, and when we do that, diseases that were thought incurable becomes curable and reversible. And so any problem you have, we have to get to the root. And tonight we're going to get to the root of many of the problems that you think you need medicines to treat. From as far back as 1,000 years ago, physicians then, and here's one of them, thought that it was relevant to think about disease from a root cause perspective, and he himself really thought that if you addressed root causes, you would have solutions that were really amazing. Now, the intestinal tract, I want you to think of it as a tube that runs from your mouth to your anus. It's a long tube. All it is just has some twists and turns and some, modifications, but it's really a tube that transports things through your body, some of which you're supposed to absorb into your cells. And in addition to this tube, there are a couple of things attached to it: your pancreas, your liver, and your gallbladder, which produce enzymes and juices that go into this tube, help to digest the food. It's a very simple setup, but while it may look simple from the outside, it's really very complex. And we have an amazing creator who designed our guts, though they may look smooth on the inside and you can rub your hand over it and it's slippery. When we take a microscope and look down, we see that it's not such a smooth surface. It's actually invaginated and convoluted into many finger-like projections we call villi, as you see on the screen. So that's what the surface of your intestine really looks like. And that's done so the surface area for absorption of food and nutrients is increased. If it was just flat like a PVC pipe, then you couldn't absorb much. In fact, if you take the surface of your intestine and lay it out, it would cover a whole tennis court. Yes? That's what God was able to package inside your stomach. Isn't that amazing? Yes, and in fact, many of human inventions to pack large things in small spaces draws their inspiration from God's creation in your stomach. So God was the initial scientist, the architect that informs much of what we do now. Now, in this intestinal tract that you have lies 2/3 of your immune system. The immune system is what protects you from germs. And 2/3 of your immune system lines your intestinal tract. It starts from your throat. We have some things they call it tonsils. That's part of the immune system, and it has many, many islands of factories that produce immune cells in your intestine. The reason for this, from the top to the bottom, is that once you eat a piece of food, there is grave danger for you in that piece of food. On your hand, in the ear, in the pot, or the restaurant where you eat it from, there is a potential for germs to be on this food. And especially if you eat out, somebody there might be sick with some dangerous disease and they didn't wash their hands, and many of you get sick. Your body knows this, and so God placed the immune system to screen and check every ounce of food you eat for danger, because that is where most germs get into your body, through your mouth. So your immune system has to be present on standby, and every time you eat, a lot of processes in your body slows down and all the blood goes to your intestine to digest and absorb, but to check the food. And so eating is a big stress on your immune system. It's a big stress. Your immune system has to focus. If it allows something to slip by, you're going to get sick or you could die. And so I say that to say, if you're eating 4 times a day, you're stressing out your immune system 4 times a day. You don't want to do that. And that's why the science has come full circle and has agreed with many writers of old that a 2-meal plan a day is ideal, except of course if you have a growing child or you're pregnant, you can eat 3 times a day. But for the average adult, most of us will do better. We'll have less illnesses, less diseases, less cancers if we reduce the amount of time we eat, because guess what? That same immune system that checks your food is the same immune system that prevents cancer. Same immune system that fights infections in your body. And if it's focusing on food, cancer could escape. Yes. So the more often you eat, the increased risk you have of other illnesses that depend on your immune system. It's just common sense. Now, inside your intestinal tract is not just your immune system. It is the home to about 100 trillion bacteria. Now, that number may not mean much to you, but let me put it in context. In your entire body, your brain, your heart, your liver, the estimate is that you have about 10 to 20 trillion cells that make up you. And yet there is 100 trillion bacteria in your intestine. So there's more bacteria in you than you have human body cells. One very hilarious writer would have said that we are just a modified host for bacteria, right? Because there's more of them in us than we ourselves. But they are there for important purposes. The bacteria in your gut are maybe 1,000 different species, and they provide some very interesting and important functions in your body. Many of the things that make your body work, many of the enzymes and proteins in your bloodstream are not made by you. Many of the signals you receive to your brain are not derived from you, they're derived from the bacteria in your gut. But here's what, there are good bacteria, there are bad bacteria. So what you want to have to be healthy is predominantly good bacteria and little to no bad bacteria, because the bad bacteria will give your body wrong instructions and make you sick. And the good bacteria will make you healthy. So for example, a vitamin called vitamin B12 is not made by you. It's not made by the cow or the dog or the cat. It's made by a bacteria that lives in the gut. Yes, and there are so many other things that the bacteria does. So God put them there for a reason. You can't live without them, and they can't live without you. We have a symbiotic, synergistic relationship with them, and so it's incumbent on us to understand that there are some very good neighbors down here. We have to feed them, and they will feed us. All right, let's go through a few important things here. All right, so in the body, in the nose, the bacteria that are there help with producing mucus, which help to trap dust from getting into your lungs. Bacteria does that, and those are good bacteria, and they also produce chemicals that kill other bad germs. They will kill flu virus. If you have inadequate bacteria in your nostrils, you get flu often because you don't have the good ones to protect you. Inside your mouth, they aid digestion. They help to break down the food that you eat, and they help to ward off other bad germs too. Inside your lungs, they create fluid to lubricate your lung tissue so the lung tissue don't collapse, and you can breathe free and breathe deeply. Inside your stomach, they prevent complications like ulcers. So when bad bacteria get in your stomach, like H. pylori, you get an ulcer because the good bacteria has gone away and the bad one predominates. Inside your colon, they digest carbohydrates. So carbohydrates in the complex form, we call it fiber or roughage. You can't digest fiber roughage, but the bacteria in your colon can, and that's the food that they feed on. So if you have a diet that is poor in fiber, you don't eat vegetables and fruits every day like you should. That's why I made this. What I made this even is food for your gut bacteria. They will feed on the fiber, the trash in your food, and that will nourish them. But guess what? Here's the trick now. Here's the good part. When they eat and digest the fiber, they pass something out of their bodies. It's called alpha-butyric acid is one of them. And that is now food for the cells in your colon. So they digest something we can't and produce something we need. And so if you're not eating this, you're going to have dying off of good bacteria, and by extension, dying off of your natural colonic cells. So you're now open to all sorts of inflammatory colon problems, constipation and diarrhea, and even colon cancer. That's why these things, so we have to feed. So you may want some fast food, but you can't think about yourself alone. You have to think about them too. Yes, everything about the bacteria. Now, let's get a little more detail. So you see those finger-like projections I showed you? So let's zoom into those now. When you zoom into them, you find that those finger-like projections are aligned by cells, and these are the cells, and you see the cells being in the off-white color. And below them, you see some little red circles that represents the capillaries or the blood vessels. Now, the lining of your intestine separates the food passing up top from the blood stream down bottom, which needs to get the blood to take it all over your body. And these cells are tightly knitted together by those little white threads going across. They're called tight junctions made from a protein called zonulin. Now, they are supposed to be held tight, and they are regulated by some very complex mechanisms that can determine what gets through and what doesn't. Now, in many people, or in almost everybody, there's a degree of damage. And this damage, we call it leaky gut syndrome. When the damage occurs, things that shouldn't get through start getting through. And so this is the main cause of most of the problems in your body. When things begin to get through your intestine, bacteria, viruses, undigested food particles get into your bloodstream to stimulate your immune system, cause infections, cause inflammation, cause buildup of plaque in your arteries, heart disease, all sorts of things. So we're going to look at what would cause this damage, because you don't want damage to occur, right? Make sense? All right, good. All right, so another picture here showing the same thing. One side we see where the cells are nicely bound together and nothing much can pass through. On the other side where the cells are damaged and they're separated with a space between, and those black things, toxins, yes, those yellow things, viruses and bacteria start getting into your bloodstream. So you see you have a problem there. And that is the reality for many persons even sitting here tonight, which is why you have this fever, you have this weakness, you have this joint and muscle pain, you have this headache, because these things are getting into your bodies and your body is fighting them and is ultimately fighting you. All right, so let me talk about a little bit of this. No, we spoke about that already. All right. So let me speak about something carefully here now. Now, when you're in your mother's womb, there is no bacteria inside your body. There's no bacteria in your intestine. There's no bacteria in your lungs, in your mouth, and your skin. You are sterile. Right? Well, listen now. But when a child is being born and they're coming through the birth canal, they now get exposed to bacteria for the first time. And this is deliberate. It's deliberate. So, you know, a baby, when they're born, you touch them mouth, what them do? Touch a baby's mouth, what happen? Them turn and start, right? That's how mommies get the nipple into the baby. Touch it outside, it's called a sucking reflex. So once that baby start come down headway or whatever way through the birth canal and their mouth touch on anything, which it will, they start sucking and drinking of mommy's vaginal fluids. And that gives them their first dose of bacteria to now inoculate their intestinal tract. So imagine if mommy is not healthy and she have an infection, what that baby's start in life gonna be. So mommies need to be healthy to make sure that the baby get the right dose of bacteria. And many sicknesses that last for a lifetime start right there. So things went wrong from the beginning, and so the child was inoculated with the wrong bacteria, with yeast, and problems for many years to come. Now, there are some children, unfortunately, who are born by C-section, and they don't get that dose of bacteria. And we have observed that kids who are born by C-section are more likely to have asthma, allergies, and autoimmune conditions, things that affect the immune system, because the bacteria is what's going to teach the immune system right from wrong. And so they don't get that teaching early, they just have disease later in life. And so in England, what the doctors are now doing, they're doing what we call a vaginal swipe. So a mother who is giving birth to a baby by C-section, the surgeon will put his finger with his gloves in the mommy's vagina, baby come out and put the baby mouth to suck on it to get the dose of bacteria that the baby need. Of course, there's bacteria in breast milk, so them get some there. And there's bacteria in foods that they eat and so on. But here's what now, here's the worst scenario now. The baby born, so the best scenario is this. You ever notice that people who are of unsound mind, who live on the street, eat from garbage bin, eat dirty food, and them don't sick? If I see them in hospital, I get no drip. No, them all right. Why is that? Because their bodies are exposed to lots of germs and their immune system are well taught and they're strong. So germs make them stronger. And when some of us were growing up in the country, from we're born with their ground, they play with the dog outside, everything. Step in a dog, do all these things. And these things, and you go to the mango tree, you pick the mango, eat it same way. No wash nothing. Remember those days? You do teeth and peel the cane. So hold on. So those things were giving your body good healthy bacteria to build your immune system. Nowadays, that no happen. You have to wipe everything down with Lysol. You're gonna wash the mango with soap and wipe it off with wipes, right? The babies are not allowed to go on the ground and they can't come to church before they're certain age because they're gonna touch people and they're gonna pick germs. So we have now what we call the hygiene hypothesis of explaining why so many kids nowadays have so many developmental problems and immune system problems and eczema and allergies because they are not exposed to germs. They are too clean. So we think in modern time being clean is good. It is not good for your immune system. This is science, you know. So I'm explaining to you why you need to expose yourself to bacteria and germs to build a strong and robust immune system from the gut up. All right? Let's continue. All right, so listen now, this is important. So what are the triggers for increased intestinal permeability? Intestinal permeability is those things that show you that separate the cells. Those little white things that burst, the intestine becomes permeable. So there are some things that you can do every day to make sure that you get your cells damaged. I'm going to tell you what they are and so you can tell me if you want to continue doing them or not. You ready? All right, so them on the screen. Number one, food allergies. So if you have a food that when you eat it, you feel sick. Some people, when them eat ice cream, them have gas and them bloated, but them love it same as them continue to eat it. Anybody here have a witness in the house who love it and get sick when them eat it? Still eat it same way? See it there? Now stop. So these things, if you eat a food that makes you sick, it is a sign that it's damaging your intestinal lining. You're inducing on yourself leaky gut syndrome to cause problems, and I soon tell the problem them. Right? Stress. Yes? Stress can be good over the short term, but long-term chronic stress, such as being in a job that you hate, being in a relationship where the husband or wife treating you bad, you know, being broke for 10, 20 years or in debt. Those kind of long-term stress will cause damage to your intestinal lining. So get rid of the stress out of your life. And there are a number of ways to do this. There's a whole presentation on stress. So one, you need to change your outlook. So stress is based on your perception. It's not real. So you might say, you know, I have no husband, so you're stressed. Some who have husband did wish you never have none. Can I get a witness in the house? You might stress because the America work hard and things tough and it's cold. Them with the Jamaica stress and want to come. Give them a visa. Them life. And when them come, them realize. So listen, so stress is about how you view things. Do you view the glass as half empty or half full? So stress is it's not about getting rid of the problems in your life. It's learning to focus on God, the problem solver. All right, let's move on. Not stress tonight. Infections can cause it, various infections, which sometimes you have no control over. Dysbiosis, which is abnormal bacteria in your gut. So you induce dysbiosis by taking in things that are going to kill gut bacteria, like processed foods, processed meats, which have antibiotics in it, GMO foods. These things kill your good gut bacteria and induce dysbiosis and cause leaky gut syndrome. All right? Inflammation, that's going to be caused by grains, flour, rice, cornmeal, oats. They have gluten, and that is why I abundant food here so much, because they cause inflammation, which cause leaky gut in your gut, and it will cause problem, which you'll find out later on. This is why I get arthritis, and you didn't take anybody husband, and I wonder why. All right, let's calm now, because I'm coming to the show tonight. All right, listen, let's continue. Systemic disease like chronic kidney disease, different kind of chronic illnesses will cause gut problems, impaired digestion. So if you're eating too late, eating too fast, eating too much, yes, eating the food too cold, all these things will affect your digestion, eating it too hot, and that will cause damage to your gut lining. Going when Sabbath comes, not for you like to go for seconds. No, no, I've seen no witness to that. I know that does not happen here. It doesn't happen here at Paterson. Right? This is in the other places. All right. Toxins, and these are going to be referring to what I spoke about the other day. And the toxins in your food, the toxins in your cosmetics. Yes? Yes? The red number 40 that is in the gummy bears and the vitamins and the fruit juices and the things that you give your kids sometimes. Deficiencies in nutrients, which I spoke about last night. So if you're deficient in certain nutrients, that can cause your gut line to be damaged. And of course, certain medications like steroids and painkillers. So the most common cause of leaky gut is like ibuprofen, naproxen, Aleve is a sure way to damage your gut. You know this. I mean, if you don't eat with food, then your stomach burning and you have ulcer. A certain way to induce gut damage is painkillers, which so many people, I guess, you have to take care. You feel the pain, but it show you something tonight. So try something that will repair your gut and relieve the pain. That makes sense? All right. And when you have this gut damage, it leads to a whole host of problems because things start to get through to your intestine, which shouldn't get through. And the diseases linked to gut damage are many. See a few of them there? Alzheimer's. Yes? So the more you damage your gut, you're going to damage your brain because there's something called a gut-brain axis. There's a connection. There is a nerve that runs from your brain to your gut, and they communicate, and things go up and down the nerve. Yes? And when things get into your body that are toxic, they go up through your vagus nerves directly into your brain and damage your brain. Parkinson's disease, diabetes, one of the main ones. Yes? Autoimmune disease, which in this category, there are 150 diseases, and they are all intimately linked to damage to your gut. That is the root cause. If you don't have that gut damage, you will never develop an autoimmune disease. Rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, multiple sclerosis, thyroiditis, psoriasis. All of these things are linked to gut problems. Sepsis, which is infection, which is quite serious and life-threatening. Colon issues like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, very common causes of diarrhea and blood in the stool and gas and bloating, and eventually has a risk of colon cancer, and of course fatty liver disease, all linked to damage to your gut. The good bacteria in your gut, you need to feed them because they have many important properties. This is going to be on YouTube, so you can go and read it up afterward. I won't go through all of these fine details because I want to really leave some time for question and answer. But the good gut bacteria will help you to digest food, prevent bad germs, protect your gut from leaky gut syndrome, build your immune system. They produce one important thing I want to talk about tonight is a condition we call depression. And depression, we analyze the brain, we realize that there is a drop in a neurotransmitter called serotonin. You don't need to remember that, but there's something in the brain that make you feel good and feel all right. When you have depression, it drops. And so we give you medication to bring it up, like Prozac or, these drugs, we call them SSRIs, serotonin or selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They raise serotonin levels. But what we discovered recently is that the serotonin that make your brain work is not produced in your brain primarily. About 30% of it is produced in your brain. Guess where the other 70% is made? In your intestine. And you need bacteria to interact with your gut nerves to produce it. So imagine if you have the wrong bacteria down there, you're going to have to produce little bit or none, and that can cause depression. Can you imagine that? And so guess what now? So I'm going to tell you, good bacteria make you feel well, and bad bacteria make you feel sick. Good bacteria feed on these. Can you guess what the bad bacteria feed on? Sugar. Sugar is the number one love. Love sugar. Them love syrup. Them love maple syrup. Find a pancake in the morning. Them love ice cream. Them love the you know, Adventists don't love Coca-Cola, but we'll drink a Sprite. Yeah? Them love that too. So by eating these things, you're feeding your enemy and starving your friend. This is a tree that shows the root being bad bacteria in the gut may lead to overweight, diabetes, inflammation, infections, metabolic syndrome. Metabolic syndrome may be the biggest thing right there. Metabolic syndrome is a group of conditions that we find go together because they have the same cause. The list includes obesity, hypertension, diabetes, heart disease, hormone imbalance, and cancer. Same cause. Kill the most people on planet Earth. The number one and number two cause of death in the US are diseases in the metabolic syndrome. Well, number three too, because it's heart attack, stroke, and cancer. Number one, number two, number three. So the top three reasons why people die. The reason why most of you here will die because of is the truth. If you don't change, you could bind it until Jesus comes. It's gonna bind you. All right, so this one here now, this is probably less life-threatening but more common. Many of you will have acid reflux and gastritis and upset stomach and bloating and gas. And when you have these things, the knee-jerk reaction is to reach for some gas medicine. What them having here? Alka-Seltzer and what them have else up here? Tums and all of these things that are meant to reduce the acid in your stomach. Prilosec. We have a lot of different ones and they get over the counter. Yes, man. So they are quick relief for your stomach ailments. And what they do, they suppress the amount of acid in your stomach. And that gives you some quick relief. So they say, yes, it's working. But what you don't know is that it's not really working. It's just kicking the can on the road to cause problems later on. So listen, let me explain something to you. Your stomach is supposed to have acid in it. It's supposed to have a lot of acid in it. Acid in the stomach is supposed to be strong. If you take acid in the stomach and throw it on somebody, it would burn them. That's how strong it is. But your stomach lining is built to hold the acid. It's built specially to hold the acid. And the acid is there for a number of reasons. The acid is there to break down food. So them piece of steak you eat and piece of chicken leg and so on, you need strong acid to burn that up. You understand? So it needed because you're eating those things. Yes. So the acid is to digest food so you can get the nutrients out the food. But the acid is to kill the bad bacteria in your food that you eat. So when you use the medicine and reduce the acid and it becomes weak, what happens to the bacteria them that's supposed to dead off? Them survive and they grow and develop in your intestinal tract and stay there for years and you get sick. So you take these medicines and one thing leads to another because your gut is now compromised. And those same bacteria that grow will cause leaky gut and give you cancer later on. You see how far down the rabbit hole this thing. So you have to now go back to nature and say, when I have a stomach upset problem, maybe I eat too much, I must stop eat so much. Maybe I ate something with too much pepper that I shouldn't eat, I must stop eat it. Maybe I drink some soda or drink some fried food, stop do it. And then you go to nature and say, what does nature have to offer? Aloe vera. That coats your stomach lining and separates the acid from your stomach cells and so it can heal. You ever heard them called slippery elm? That's what it does. It increases the mucin and the bicarbonate in the stomach so it can restore the natural stomach protection so the acid don't burn you. And so the acid will stay, does what it's supposed to do, but your stomach begin to heal. Right? So don't defy the laws of nature for quick relief. All right, so I'm just skipping over a few things here. Another common problem that I need to just quickly tell you about is something called IBS, irritable bowel syndrome, is very common. Very common. And maybe if I do a poll here, maybe 10% of you might have it. Symptoms are cramping, abdominal cramp, related to your meals. You eat, afterward, couple hours after your belly cramp you up. You may have abdominal pain, you may have bloating. Bloating may be the most common. So you eat a little bit of food, stomach reach out here. So the food you eat could not make your belly so big. It's a little bit of food, and you're afraid to eat something. You guys say, boy, no, man, something. Happened to you? Yes, man. So bloating out of keeping with the amount of food you eat. And it may come with sometimes constipation or diarrhea. Sometimes you may find that you're not going to the bathroom every day. You should go to the bathroom twice a day every day. If you're not going every day, you're constipated. It doesn't have to be hard, but sometimes it's hard. Your stool should be about 7 to about 12 inches long. Big chunk. If you pass, don't go with something that is constipation. No, that is not how it's supposed to work. Some big chunk to be clogging up the toilet every day. Plunger should be working very hard. Especially up here. Right? And you may pass some mucus in your stool too. Those are signs that you may have IBS. And IBS is caused by food allergies. There are things you're eating that is damaging your stomach lining and triggering symptoms. And there are two sets of foods: grains and dairy products. Two most common. So you need to cut out grains, the flour, the sugar, the rice, the oats, and the cornmeal, and cut out the dairy. And in most cases, persons begin to heal and feel better in just a matter of weeks. Now, there is a protocol, we call it a 4R protocol, to repair your gut lining and begin to heal from all the diseases I mentioned before. This is what naturopathic doctors and doctors like myself use on our patients to get most of them problems healed. So I'm going to tell you the secret, right, that we use. It's a 4R protocol. So you want to definitely follow through. This is a summary. So number one, first thing you must do is to remove, which is to remove foods from your diet that are going to harm you. Second, we do a detox. You know, natural doctors are giving you a washout, a detox, because this is the first principle. Yes, there's a reason why they do it. The doctor go and say, hey man, I'm going to give you a detox. It's a good doctor. They understand the principle that the gut health is key to your overall health. And if they begin to take the diet to a different level and cleanse the gut, the process of healing can begin. It will not begin before that. You'll be treating symptoms, and slow progression will be your fate. You will get long periods of treatment to get better. But if you fix the gut, your treatment is accelerated. So removing things from your diet that is not supposed to be there and detox the gut to get rid of bacteria, virus, fungi, excessive gas, excessive stool that build up, flush it out. Second step, we're going to replace the bad foods with the good foods and replace some things that your body didn't have enough of, some enzymes and some bile acids and some nutrients. So we'll give you some things to take. I'm going to tell you in a minute what they are. This is a summary. And then third, we give you some things to repair, some foods and some supplements to repair the gut lining. And last, we're going to rebalance your gut with giving you good bacteria now to populate. Some persons say, boy, I'm going to fix my gut. I'm going to take some probiotics. They don't know the detox. To change your diet. That is waste of time. Imagine you have a nice lawn at home. Beautiful lawn. Yes? And you leave for a couple of months, didn't water it, but rainfall, didn't do anything to it. And you come back, you realize a lot of weeds are in your lawn growing up, right? So the lawn don't look so healthy anymore. And the weeds would have caused pockets of your beautiful grass to disappear. So you come home, you say, boy, I'm going to make my lawn pretty again. Would you then go and just sow some grass seeds in your lawn just like that? No, you have to weed out the bad weeds in first. So you can't put probiotics on top of bad bacteria. That don't make no sense. There's a simple principle which I'm teaching you, and you have to do it step by step. Let's get into the details now. So we put you on an elimination diet. take some things out of your diet. So if you have gut problems, there are some foods that you have to take out. We call it a 5-food elimination diet. Take out milk, dairy products. Take out soy. Take out flour. Take out cornmeal. Yes? Cornmeal, flour, soy, dairy, and you take out the peanut. Them, we have more, but them they're the main one. Main one. Miss, don't make me talk about business in the church, But she did talk about her business last night, don't? She did talk about her business, don't? She talk about her business and look who talk. Look who talk. Look who talk. No one understand why she said, listen, lady, listen to, do what I tell you to do, I'm not coming back up here. You talk the business in church. You stood right over there and list out all the things and what you take. So it's no secret. All of we know, say you are try your best, but no, we know you're not really trying your best. No, we know why you're sick. Yes. So the peanut have to go because it's loaded with mold toxins. The wheat and cornmeal have to go, but loaded with gluten, and the dairy have to go because the casein is inflammatory. Yes, and all them food have to go there. The soy have to go because it is GMO, and it having antibiotic glyphosate in it, which is gonna kill your gut bacteria. So you can't have a good health with them. There's something in your body. You're gonna have skin problem and fatigue and headache and joint pain and weakness and pressure and sugar and arthritis. Anyway, so we detox your body of bad bacteria, and I could have showed you the protocol. So up here, so now, so a quick little detox. You can go on my platform, the search made, but the things to make the detox is gonna be garlic. This kill bacteria and viruses now. So the same thing I showed you to make you can drink a little more of it. Garlic, turmeric, ginger. Yeah? With them they know. No, that ain't my formula. Well, generally I put some oranges going in, some citrus, and some pineapple. You blend up these together, and then with the orange, you put the skin and the seeds, because the seeds in the orange kill worms. So orange, ginger, pineapple, garlic, turmeric. And the garlic is the one that's going to dominate. So this is going to be laced with garlic now, because garlic is going to kill all the fungus, all the yeast, all the bad bacteria. So garlic, incidentally, kill bad bacteria and preserve good bacteria. Oh, God, so good. Listen, man. When I read the research and realized, boy, the garlic preserved the good bacteria. God designed this. All that you need to be well is right here in nature. It could not be, nobody else couldn't do this. All the healthy foods help you to be healthier. And the other food then make you sicker. Yes, man. All right, so that's it. So you do the detox, you get rid of stress out of your life. So your detox might include getting rid of some people too, You have a detox them out of your life, Yeah, man, because it must stress you. Yeah, man, if you clean out your life, man, cut off some people, man. All right, so certain things have to leave out of your life. All right, next thing. So these are the worst foods. I did mention a few. So processed meats, another set of food you need to get rid of. The gluten and sweeteners and so on, alcohol if you consume that. Now, this is supposed to replace, this is number 2 on the list now, replace. So we go to second R, we're finishing up fast. So replace the bad foods with healthy foods. And we tell you what the healthy foods are already. I've been telling you that all weekend. Right? Digestive enzymes, they have pills that have enzymes in them. Some good enzymes that are naturally occurring are going to be in your papaya and your pineapple. Yes? These foods contain enzymes. So as much raw food as you can eat, the more enzymes you can get. When you cook the food, enzymes don't work anymore. Some food have cooking them, but some food they can't eat them raw because they have enzymes. But papaya and pineapples have some of the highest amount of enzymes in them. All right? Stomach acids. So you're getting things to cut your acid down. When we are treating people for stomach issues, sometimes we give them extra acid in pills to kill bacteria and to aid digestion. Yes? So we do those things, and then so the foods and the supplements. Here are some of the best foods you should have that are going to be healthy for your gut. Colored foods, vegetables, fruits, nuts, seeds. These are foods that will nourish your gut bacteria, your sweet potato, your breadfruit, your cassava, your pumpkins, your onions, your cabbage, your callaloo, your pomegranate, your broccoli, your plantain, your banana. All of these foods are foods you should be eating daily to nourish your gut. Repair, supplements to repair your gut. This thing they call L-glutamine. You can buy it online. Or they have bone broth, but this is not vegan. So those of you who are vegan have got to work with the L-glutamine alone. And this particular supplement has L-glutamine in it. It has some licorice and some astragalus. And that's a good supplement. And then you have some foods that are going to repair your gut lining. Right? And they include lots of fiber food. And that is not wheat bread there. That is pumpkin bread. Things like your flax seeds. These foods, chia seeds, these are foods that are going to repair your gut lining, clean and repair. The flax and chia is why I put them in my smoothie. And I have these things in my diet every single day. Some of you just say that for the first time. No, you're going to go to the Whole Foods store, you're going to buy them. Make a little investment in your health. You will save many, many problems and money later on. All right? So these foods, the avocado, which you are better off here because you have avocado 12 months for the year from Mexico. In Jamaica, we have it for 3 months or 4 months for the year. So that's the only reason I'm going to consider coming here for going just avocado alone. No other reason. No other reason. Right? And then finally, we're going to be putting back good bacteria in our gut by using probiotics. But there are some foods that will have bacteria in them that you need to eat too. And these foods are going to be called probiotic foods. And they include your fermented foods like your pickles and your sauerkraut and your yogurts and your kimchi and your miso. Them there. Kombucha. Tempeh, which is a fermented soy product, which is actually quite good. And miso, fermented soy product, the only two soy products I consume. Kefir is a fermented dairy product, and I would have used the bacteria to digest all of the lactose out of it and some of the protein. And pickles and kimchi. So these are good probiotic foods that have bacteria in it to nourish and repopulate your gut lining. Now, Ellen White said, you must guard well the avenues to your soul. So let's start with the mouth, right? It's through your mouth that you feed your body. And it's through your mouth you can make your body sick or well. So carefully watch what you put into your mouth. But equally important, and maybe more important, is your soul salvation. You know this, right? Yes, and you have to guard well what gets in through your eyes and your ears and your nose and what you touch. Because these things also influence your thoughts. Your thoughts are not generated out of thin air. You don't naturally want some KFC. You want it because you saw it in an ad on TV, maybe when you're a child. If you live in a remote part of Africa and never hear about KFC, you will not be designed for no KFC. If you never heard about no ice cream before, you would not be designed for no ice cream. You desire these things because you were exposed to them through your vision or you heard about them. So your thoughts, your desires are informed by what get into your body through your sense organs. So carefully screen what reach to your body. Because your thoughts are what are going to determine your actions. So the sinful actions, the addictions, they start in your mind, but those started with things that you saw or heard. And the actions are going to determine your habits. So if you do something regularly, that become your habit, and your habit determine your character. And character is what God is looking at. So no understand, so what you look at, I got to determine what God sees and what the rest of us sees. So you don't try to change your character, or trying to change your habits, or change your action. No, you change what you're exposed to. You go to the root of the problem. So that's the spiritual application tonight. God will every avenue to your soul. That will determine your health and your salvation. Tonight, that's the end of the presentation. Do you have any questions?
Yes. I'm representing those online. First two questions. Can someone who is breastfeeding do the detox? And number two, someone who's breastfeeding, can they eat 6 hours apart?
If you're breastfeeding, then you need to be eating a little more frequently, 6 hours apart, 3 meals a day. Well, that's going to be 18 hours. But yes, a mother who is breastfeeding, if you get up hours of the night, may have to consume meals at an abnormal time. But if you're going to be consuming meals in the night, as a mother who is breastfeeding, eating that are easy to digest. Fruits, lots of fluids, soups, nothing too heavy. But I would not put a breastfeeding mother on a 2 meal a day plan. The detox, however, is made from healthy foods. And yes, breastfeeding mothers can take the detox because it's all healthy foods that will cause no side effects. That's my answer.
Okay, next question online, Audrey. Question, can acid reflux cause a persistent cough?
Absolutely. So acid reflux means that stomach acid comes up from your stomach into your esophagus. And if you're lying down at night and it's happening in your sleep, it can come up and something can go down into your trachea, the windpipe. And that is where you have what we call a cough reflex. When something goes down into there, even if I'm eating this and some go down there, I'm going to have a cough. So a dry, persistent cough that's going on for months and weeks may not be a cold, could be a sinus problem, but it could be acid reflux. It's a well-known trigger for excessive cough. All right?
Final question from the online audience for now. Is tofu healthy to eat? If so, what is the difference between tofu and, is that tempeh? Yeah, tempeh.
So tofu is an unfermented soy product. Tempeh is a fermented soy product. So by fermentation, we mean that it's infused with healthy bacteria to digest the unwanted components of the soil. So some foods that are considered unhealthy can be converted to healthy foods by the process of fermentation. Grains, for example, can be converted to health by the process of sprouting. So if you're into sprouting, you can sprout grains, and that makes them low in starch and gluten content and higher in fiber and healthy fats. So no, tofu is not fermented, so it will be primarily GMO and lots of phytic acid and lots of goitrogens and so on. So I wouldn't be recommending that as a health food. But yes, tempeh is fermented and would have had most of the bad substances removed, and the bacteria now converts those things that are very healthy for you. All right, that's my answer. Next question, in personal.
I have a question. I know you said we have good bacteria, which I know good bacteria and bad bacteria. However, when someone get gassy and pass gas, why does it really have that kind of gassy smell? Like, yes, is that causing the good bacteria, the bad bacteria, or because of what we are eating and the breaking down process of the food that cause it to smell like that?
Okay, so gas in your stomach is formed from the interaction of bacteria with the food. So we have a set of germs, we call them gas-forming organisms. When they interact with certain foods like dairy, and sometimes legumes like peas and beans, and sometimes cruciferous vegetables like cabbage. These bacteria, most of which are bad, will cause excessive formation of hydrogen sulfide gas and sometimes methane gas. Hydrogen sulfide is one very stink gas. So let's put it as it is, right? Don't smell good, right? I'm afraid to say it. And methane is not so bad smelling, but there are a couple other gases. So if you're having foul smelling odor regularly, because you have to pass someone at some time, you know, no matter how pretty you are. It's a couple of things that you have to consider. One, am I eating too many legumes, dairy products, or cruciferous vegetables? And do I need to do a detox to get rid of these bad bacteria in my gut? So it's a combination of things that we have to look at. All right? That answer your question? Yeah, all right, good.
Okay. I have a question about almonds. I have seen some videos that talk about almonds not necessarily being the best not to eat because of the lectins. Can you speak on that?
Yes. Lectins are a group of compounds we call anti-nutrients. So lectins will block absorption of certain minerals and vitamins from your intestine, and it may cause gut damage. Lectins is present in a whole host of plant foods. Lectins are present in high amounts in nuts and in legumes. Almonds may be one of the highest sources of lectins. And so if you're consuming almonds, you need to consider soaking them overnight to reduce the lectin content. Nuts in general and legumes in general should be subjected to this process to reduce the lectin, because lectin is not good for you. They're in the plant to protect the plants from, you know, things that may harm them and eat them. Plants have their natural defense systems, and these things will harm you. And so you have to be wise to have moderation, not overdo. And if you do consume them, if you're gonna make soy milk or not soy milk, almond milk or any other milk, or use almonds, try to soak them. I should have said that when I was doing the video, but soaking the almonds overnight is a way to reduce lectins, all right? And soaking them in warm water is even better. All right.
How about pistachio?
Pistachio have lectins, but it's a very small amount compared to almonds. So almonds, cashews are two of the highest in the legume family, in the nut family, but pistachios very low. So most people eat pistachio rarely. If it's pistachio every day, that's unusual, but soaking it may be necessary if eating a lot and regularly, but because of the small amount that we eat, it may not be such a big issue for us, and it has a very small amount. But all of them have lectins.
Hi. I have two questions. The first one is the detox. How long should we do that for? Is it a day, like most of us do, 2 days, or how often?
Okay, so detox recommended that you do maybe 3 to 10 days, depending on your situation. So if you have many issues, constipation, gas and bloating, trying to lose weight, you may go as much as 10 days. 3 days minimum. And it could do that as much as 2 to 3 times a year. There are many detox formulas, and they would be determined which one you take based on what you're suffering from. So if you have like a liver issue, you may want to be doing milk thistle tea for maybe a month. If you have kidney issues, you may want to be doing dandelion tea for maybe 2 weeks. If you have colonic issue, you may want to be doing this detox with aloe vera. Aloe vera would go into this one, sorry. Aloe vera plus all these things to do a gut detox. And there are detox formulas you could buy on the market. And I'll share with your sister here, which is Francis, a new detox that I'm launching called V-Detox. It's a combination of liver and kidney and gut herbs to cleanse. So you could actually purchase that one if you don't want to go and make this one, which I think it's quite, well, not so tasty, but it's very good and it's free.
Do you have a formula or, well, a formula to reverse autoimmune disease, the list of diseases that you had at the beginning of the presentation.
Well,
Is there like a program for someone who might want to journey in reversing whatever condition they may have?
So in introduction, it was said that I'm a functional medicine doctor, and maybe 25% of my work is in treating and reversing autoimmune disease. So absolutely, yes. That's one of my main area of interests. And yes, that's what I do.
So someone would need to contact you. Okay,
Wouldn't be able to do all that, but
of course.
I got a lot of it tonight. A big
Okay.
part of it is the 4-hour program, but that's not the only thing, all right?
Okay, the last question, sorry. With the enzyme, digestive enzyme, can you do the supplement and the natural food at the same time? Or
Well, yes, if
does
you're
that
trying to
need-
reverse a disease, you do both. If you're just trying to stay healthy, then you do the natural ones
supplement.
alone, yes. If you don't have a disease, then you just do your papaya and your
Mhm.
healthy foods. You're not going to be buying these expensive supplements. But if you're treating a disease, a severe gut issue, and you're doing 4-hour program to treat a problem, then you need to get the supplements too.
Question. What about veggie chunks and veggie mints?
What about them? Can somebody answer for me, please? Next question, please.
Sorry, don't use
Next
it.
question. Somebody answer for me. Answer for me.
Okay.
I've
so,
told you what to eat. Be obedient.
Okay, so if you have iron deficiency, how to take the iron and the specific time?
So if you have done a blood test that determined that you have low iron, then yes, you may take iron tablets, and the dosages may range from 100 to 300 milligrams once a day. Iron should be taken with a meal, and iron is absorbed in the presence of vitamin C, so something that has some kind of fruit in it or vegetable, some raw food, is going to ensure that iron is absorbed. All right? So take iron, 1 pill a day, but I give patients sometimes up to 2 or 3 a day if their anemia is very severe. So your blood count is, say, below 6, you may even get an injection of iron. You may even need to go to the hospital to get blood. So it's depending on how bad the anemia is. And even before we start saying giving you iron, we have to determine what's causing the iron deficiency anemia. Because iron deficiency anemia, in many people, is a manifestation of an underlying cancer. So if blood count low, don't just run to take iron. You need to know what causing this. Is it my heavy period? Is it a stomach ulcer? Is it a colon cancer that is bleeding little and I don't realize is I have some worms? So if you're taking iron and you have a colon cancer, that doesn't make sense. So don't just run, go and take. Always try to ascertain why is my iron low, all right?
So what kind of question would I ask the doctor to do to check why? Because they only do that and I was admitted for and getting iron and getting blood and stuff, but they didn't like do that deep.
Well, I asked the doctor to check to see, do I have cancer? So my patients who come in for iron deficiency anemia, they get their iron levels checked. They get cancer screened, get stool tests for colon cancer, they get ultrasounds. They will need to get tests to see if they have a bleeding disorder, to check the blood clotting. Those are important things. And then we know that chronic inflammation, if you have an autoimmune disease, that may cause anemia. So we check your inflammatory markers like a ESR and HSCRP. You may not remember all this, but your doctor, you should ask him, Doc, why am I anemic? I need to find out, can you do some tests? Can you check for cancer? Can you check for diseases that may cause it? So doctor would know generally. Some doctors may not naturally go to do all these tests because they have a long list of patients. They don't want to get to the next patient, so they may quickly gloss over your case, but you have to be insistent and inquisitive and ask and insist. Many serious diseases are discovered when patient insists that doctor send him for some tests. So it's your body. Ask the doctor, keep bothering him. It's your body. If he's not responding, you find a different doctor. All right.
Question here, Doc.
We have one more. We'll take one more question. Oh, Brother
Yeah.
Scarlett. Okay, so we'll take Brother Scarlett's question, and then you have a question. Okay, and then that's it. Okay. Oh, Sister Pierre. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, the question here, Doc. You mentioned about oats. There are several type of oats. Old-fashioned oats, and you have quick oats. The doctor told me that I should take oats for my like high cholesterol. What is your test on that?
All right, so good question. Truth is that all oats are not created equal. If we should rank oats in terms of how much you send your sugar up by, which is one problem to have with them, then the refined oats is the worst. Old-fashioned oat would come next, and then below that, the most friendly oats for your blood sugar is what we call steel-cut oats. But the blood sugar issue is just one problem I have with the oats. Other problem I have with the oats is that it contains gluten, which we now understand is a cause of damage to your intestinal lining, leaky gut, which underlies many of the diseases. So while oats may be a great replacement for your turkey bacon and so may reduce your cholesterol, it cause other problems with your gut, and that's not a theory, it's known, we have proven this. So little by little, if you continue to consume the oats, you will have gut issues that lead to other issues. And not because a food have a beneficial property doesn't mean it doesn't have downsides. Pork is rich in iron. Pork is rich in protein. Pork is rich in vitamins and minerals. Right? So pork have more benefit than oats. I'm just saying. All right. Next question.
Okay,
Eh? What do you think? I don't think anybody here would not be able to answer a question. I'll answer a question. Ask somebody else to answer.
Okay, you mentioned that it's healthy to consume yogurt, but it contains dairy and other unhealthy additives.
All right, so great question. So when I'm consuming yogurt, I definitely go for coconut yogurt. So we Adventists need to learn how to use these non-dairy sources to make our yogurt. It can be made and it's not very difficult. You can go on YouTube, you can get your healthy bacteria and you set your coconut milk and make your coconut yogurt, because even though milk yogurt may have some benefits, you're right, it does come with lots of sometimes antibiotic in the milk, hormones in the milk, and other things that may cause problems. And milk, we know, generally will worsen sinus issues. So, and most yogurts on the market are going to have some sugar in it. So yogurt should have been qualified as being plant-based yogurt being the best option for us to consume. All right?
All right, we have one last question.
All right, my Helicobacter problem.
What problem?
Helicobacter stomach problem. Right. I think sugar, ginger, pineapple, and sure is good for my problem.
You use sugar, pineapple, and what else?
Ensure.
Ensure. So you're asking if it's good for your stomach? Yeah. All right. So and ginger. All right. So yes and no. The Ensure, let me start with that one, is a combination of milk and sugar. And so persons who have stomach upset, ulcers, acid reflux, when they drink Ensure will get a quick relief, just like from your antacids. So milk products are definitely consumed to give a soothing, calm for your intestines. But in the long term, sir, it makes your stomach worse. It encourages the formation of gas, bad bacteria, and mucus in your stomach. It's not great. The sugar in the ensure plus the sugar you're adding will ensure that eventually your sugar will go up. So you may have diabetes. It feeds the bad bacteria in your gut, and the good ones die off. So you are being saved not by the sugar and the yogurt, but maybe by the ginger and the other natural things that are in the formula. So the formula is good, but it can be a little better if you take out those things. If you must have something sweet in it, a little bit of honey may be what you'd want to use occasionally, because honey will kill bad bacteria and it has good bacteria in it, real honey. So I'd suggest that as a transition, you take out the sugar and the ensure, and you may want to probably use some coconut cream or coconut milk with some honey in it to make your formula taste how you want it to taste. But you're on a good track with the ginger and the other things you have in there, all right? All right, great. So thank you everybody for your very good questions. And we'll see you tomorrow night for the last presentation, which will be, anybody can tell me what presentation is on? The answer to cancer. So invite your friends out tomorrow night. We're going to talk about how cancer is caused and what you can do to reduce your risk and even treat some cancers in a natural way. It's online. So it's going to be on Zoom tomorrow night, not here in person. YouTube and Facebook, not Zoom. YouTube and Facebook. So First SDA Church of Paterson, go to their page on YouTube and on Facebook and join us live tomorrow so we can end in a big way.
We want to extend our gratitude to Dr. Thomas for all the information he has shared with us all these nights, even tonight. It was a lot for us to take in, and so we are thankful. Give him another hand, brethren. We have come to the end of our program tonight, and as Dr. Thomas has already reminded us, that this is our last night in person. So if you're here and you want to ask him a question, do it before he leaves, because you won't get to see him in person again unless he comes back. All right, but join us tomorrow. We will be online. You can see us on Facebook, on YouTube. You can ask questions there as well, and you may get an answer. Let us stand to pray before we go, brethren. Let us pray. Lord, we want to thank you for your goodness and mercy. We want to thank you that we have heard so much information about all the natural things that you have provided us for us to stay healthy and strong. I pray, God, that we'll apply all this knowledge to our daily lives, not just let it go in one ear and come out the next, but practice and do what we need to do to take care of the bodies that you have given to us. Take us home safely and allow us to get some good rest tonight so that tomorrow we'll be able to go to work, do our daily task, and also join so we can hear how to help ourselves and to listen about cancer from Dr. Thomas tomorrow. Be with us, journeying mercies. In your wonderful name I pray. Amen.